Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night here. Most of you will be able to view this video tomorrow morning, so good morning to you all on this Wednesday. In this video I just want to go over the long range, what we might be looking at. I made a post about it last night, about a couple cold shots coming, plus a possible storm that's well into the future and has, could go any direction at once at this point. It's not something we can go into too much detail due to it being close to 8 to 10 days away. So, that being said, this past weekend featured our first real cold shot of the autumn season, which gave a little hint of winter. Many places in Pennsylvania, especially up in the mountains towards our north and west, experienced their first snowflakes of the season. Even in stream areas in the northwest, PA towards Erie, high elevations in the mountains actually got a decent amount of snow, up to, I think the most I've seen, or should I say I heard, was 5 inches. I believe that was in some location close to Lake Erie. But what little did I know is the Harrisburg area did receive some snowflakes and sleet, and what many of you don't know is called grapple, or grapple, I should properly say. I know a lot of you don't know what that is. It's basically snowflakes that come down as solids instead of the actual flake. There's a long explanation deciphering between sleet, grapple, hail. You can look it up yourself. I'm not going to go into detail. I don't want to confuse anybody. But just know there's a difference between the two. So it was not hail. Hail comes during severe weather, severe thunderstorms. It's a whole different, it's basically snow. The difference is it's much colder, up in the atmosphere than it is down at the surface. And you get these pellets of snowflakes, which in the Colonial Park area I want to get to here. I said I would post a video of the grapple storm that came through my area, but my phone is it's having some issues, so I couldn't upload the video. But I did upload these photos, and as many of you saw, which some of these pellets came down nearly the size of golf balls. I know it's hard to tell in these photos, but these are actually significant size grapple pellets. Just going through these photos here. This is my area, it's my apartment in the background. You can see it actually covered, this is pavement, and for this time of year, considering we haven't had any type of real cold shot, to have grapple actually covering the ground is quite impressive. It just goes to show you how hard it really fell. I know many of you many of you said on my Facebook page that you've experienced somewhat of the same thing, but not as severe. My area it had to get hit one of the hardest, because it came down within 5 to 10 minutes and laid pretty substantially for the amount of time it fell. If you were outside in it, I know it would have hurt really bad. But luckily, I just got done. I was just got off work that day when it happened, so I was able to avoid any well, I shouldn't say injury, but any painful pellets hitting my body. Just keep going through these. This is top of my car here. Again, it looks like snow, and it's what it really is. It's just a frozen version of snow. Anyway, and then here's a broader view. All these cars are covered in grapple. Even up here on top of the roof of my apartment, you can see it's covering. So, but as quickly as it fell, see this in here. As quickly as it fell, it melted. After these photos, it probably melted about 15 minutes or so after it fell. So, you know, it's definitely and I guess for winter lovers, it's a cool thing to see. It's a cool thing to see for myself because I'm a weather enthusiast and I've never seen such a storm like that. And it all originated from the lakes. So those were all lake effect squalls that came down to even places near the Harrisburg area in Lancaster. So it's definitely it was definitely an impressive cold shot. Now, as we head into the future, yesterday, today, well, I should say today especially. Well, you guys will be watching this tomorrow, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they all look to have substantially warmer temperatures than this past weekend. As we advance this forward here, the oranges and reds and yellows, those are your warmer temperatures. Once you get into the greens, that's around average, and blues is colder than average. As you can see, this whole week we're going to be dominated under high pressure, and we'll get these oranges and reds, or I should say oranges and yellows, into our area, which will lead to temperatures right around the 70-degree mark for the next few days. By the time we get to Friday, a system will be dropping out of Canada, which will lead to a little drop in temperatures. It's not going to be a significant drop, but it's definitely going to bring us back to average for this time of year, which our averages are in the low 60s, so it's going to be, our high temperatures this week will probably range from anywhere from 58 to 62 degrees. So it's nothing that we can't handle this time of year. But what I do want to get to is the long range here. Because it does get interesting, especially for some winter lovers out there. Alright, so this is the end of next week. So this is 222 hours out. So it's a very, very, very far time out, and this will change. However, it's the first potential of anything to develop and bring a pretty sizable swath of snow with it. Not saying it's for our area. However, areas in the interior northeast could see some snow out of it. So here we are. Look at the cold temperatures dropping out of Canada. This would support, I'll draw the rain snow line for you guys. Second here. Generally speaking, in the winter time, this would be your rain snow line. So it drops pretty close to the Harrisburg area before hooking north. Now, what that means, if it were to snow anywhere north of that, in these areas here, or if I should say, if the storm would have hit any these areas in here, would experience some sort of wintry precipitation. Now, this is going to change because I don't know how else to put it, but there is a storm signal for the end of next week. If we get this cold to time up well enough with this system, we could be talking about some snow in the northeast. Now, when I say areas in the northeast, I want to make this clear. I'm talking northwest PA, western New York, upstate New York, Vermont, and a decent bit of Maine. So these areas in here, they could be on the lookout for some snow. Now, that's if it takes this type of path, which this model does suggest. This is the GFS. The European model really amps up the system, brings it up the lakes, gives the northern plains a blizzard, and then brings in very cold temperatures behind it. So it comes up the lake towards just say Chicago, brings with it in front of it warm air, which will lead to rain, and then wrapping around will be extremely cold air for this time of year. Now, when I say extremely, I mean temperatures struggling to reach the mid-40s for high temperatures. That's impressive for this time of year. That's easily 10 to 15 degrees below normal. Still ways away. There might not be any storm at all. However, I'm telling you right now that I'm keeping my eye on a first storm of the year that could bring with it a swath of snow. Now, whether the swath of snow will be in this area, or in this area, or somewhere in between, I don't know yet. As we get closer, hopefully models and my thoughts will come in more clear, that I can give you guys a more definite forecast. I will say though, if the cold air does time up well enough, there's always the possibility of some type of wintry precipitation that could extend into the lower elevations, such as Harrisburg, Lebanon, Allentown. So anywhere north of the PA Turnpike, I would say, has has somewhat of a chance of seeing maybe some wintry precipitation. Not saying any accumulation at this point, but there's definitely a possible chance. If I had to give you a percentage right now, it's definitely lower than 25% chance. It's even pretty premature for me to put out percentages like that, considering we're still talking 8 to 10 days away. But again, I'm keeping my eye on it, as winter's my favorite season, so I go pretty hard at tracking these storms, to be honest. I just love tracking winter storms and snow. It just intrigues me. It's really what brought me into the weather field as an enthusiast. So I appreciate it much more than I do any other type of weather. I hope you guys all enjoy this video. I will keep you guys updated as we head throughout the week. And you guys have a great day.